Are we live? I think I froze before. I don't know what happened, but I could only see my face frozen. So here's the second part of Brett Favre and scam artists. Let me catch you up on the first episode. Press this little button in the corner to skip the recap. But we were talking about Brett Favre. And if you just joined in or you watched the last one, you went, what the, and then saw this one, welcome. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get notified when I go live. I go live every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as long as those continue to be the weekdays. Can we address that for a second? It should be like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of week. Maybe Thursdays. My weeks in America would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, half day Thursday. Everybody go home early. But you stagger it so the traffic's light, you know? Like some people leave at 10, some people leave at noon, some people leave at 1. And then those grind life people, always on the grind people, they can stay till 5. Fuck them. All right, so Brett Favre, in the news today, he's trying to relitigate and sue, something to my Shannon Sharp. Sue Shannon Sharp, that's what I was trying to say before. Shannon Sharp is on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, I believe. Again, all the links to the articles that I talk about are in the description. And I do that almost every time. And so all the links in the description to the stuff we're going to talk about. Brett Favre trying to relitigate, sue Shannon Sharp for defamation. And that job scams are up 118, 27, 17%, something like that. I knew that. They're up 100%. That means, like, sometimes I don't even get that when they say it's up 100%. So it's just whatever it was times 100. 100 times is twofold. Anyways, job scams are up with thanks to AI. And Brett Favre trying to sue Shannon Sharp. Try saying that. You try saying that. Don't look at me cross-eyed. Brett Favre trying to sue Shannon Sharp. Sue Shannon Sharp for defamation. Because Shannon Sharp on the podcast or TV show, I don't know what they do. Is TV still around? Shannon said that, Brett stole from the most vulnerable in society, which if you missed the recap, he did. He got paid speaking fees, but the money he was paid with was from welfare. Brett Favre, absolute cow caca. Just human excrement. That's what that dude is. Mississippi, if you have any signs up that say Homer Brett Favre, I'd take them down. Like, out of all the things to be embarrassed of, Mississippi, Brett Favre, easily number one. Just the way he looks. He has one of those faces where you just, makes dogs want to poop on it. It's that kind of face, You know his face? He has like a overbite with his lip, like not even his teeth, like his lip has an overbite or an underbite. I forget which one. Either way, very homely face. Homey. Which one means ugly? One of those. Anyways, Brett Favre basically was unscathed. I don't know why the news didn't touch him. Maybe he's got friends high up at CBS, NBC, ABC, DEF, XYZ, and that's why they just let him go freely than lambasting him. Because, this is a pretty heinous thing to do, get paid. And what I was saying is, like, Brett Favre, smart dude, and if he's not, I'm not sure. He could be just a moron. But he has people around him to help manage his finances. He's not helping build a $5 million indoor volleyball stadium at his alma mater for his daughter, being a moron, So this is a clever thing that he worked out. Didn't think he was going to get caught, and he should be fucking lampooned, man. Everybody should be going after this dude. He's a scumbag, especially because he's filthy fucking rich. And now he's trying to get his lawyers to reopen the case. I don't know, with defamation, like to try to rehash. They're trying to re-sue Shannon Sharp for what he said on the TV show, the podcast, whatever it is, Undisputed with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. But the judge threw it out the first time. This happened once. The judge threw it out, said nobody believed you literally were going into people's homes and stealing from the poorest people in Mississippi. Like, no one thought literally you were doing that. That's above you. You do it in a clever roundabout way, you asshole. But they're trying to now, get this case seen before a judge. I'm guessing he has a judge as a friend, and that's what he's trying to do. But why? Why would Brett Favre sue Shannon Sharpe for calling him out on what he did? He got paid with welfare funds. That's taking money from the most vulnerable. You're one of the richest. So why would he do that? It's got to be his ego, right? This guy's just got to all be in his own head thinking like, I'm too great and I didn't mean to and I didn't know any better. Like at that point, do you really not know any better? Like I'd like to see the proof, Brett. That's what you should have to do. If you want to try to sue Shannon Sharpe for saying that you took money from the most vulnerable people, which you did. You didn't personally go and take it out of their pockets, but you got paid with funds. Like, do you not ask where the money comes from? Like, say that. Show us the proof. Okay, the onus should be on you to show us the proof that you're such a moron. You didn't know where that $1 million, $1.1 million in speaking fees. But I think it's because he's an egotistical jerk. Why? Because there was interest that accrued on the 1.1 million he earned in speaking fee or stole in speaking fees, and he only paid the 1.1 million back. There's $792,000 that has still not been paid back. And that's the interest. I say do interest with inflation. But Brett, I don't know why he's trying to get in the news again, but every time he wants to be in the news, I'll talk about you, Brett. Because you're an absolute ass. Ass? Ass? He's not even an asshat. He's an ass. That's even worse. God damn. Some of these people, and that's like, I hate to point out, but I love to point out when you want to see privilege right in front of your face, and this is one of those times. Like, Brett, you walked away unscathed, right? You didn't, go to jail or anything. There's no criminal charges for that amount of money being taken. $1.1 million, that's not pocket change. And for a guy who's uber wealthy, like, bro, you should be counting your blessings, thanking your lucky stars, Brett. But instead, you're trying to sue someone because they said you took money from welfare funds, which you did. You took money from the most vulnerable. Like, what? Did that upset you? If that upset you so bad, guess what, Brett? Should not have done it. Have better people around you. Vet where the money's coming from. Do you just take money from everyone and don't ask questions? And then go, I didn't know. Yeah, that's fucking brilliant, Brett. Maybe you are as stupid as you look. I hope you're watching this. And if you are, subscribe. Because a lot of the times I say these things for constructive criticism, and I'll tell you, I say, I don't mean any of this with ill intent. This time I mean it with all ill intent included. Brett, you are not a good human. And the fact that you're trying to sue Shannon Sharpe, I said it. Sue Shannon Sharpe, I said it again. The fact that you're just trying to sue him for what he had said about you is fucking, do you need a new diaper? Do you need a new diaper, Brett? But I will say this, Brett, please hit subscribe and the notification bell because I go live every weekday. I probably work more than you do, Brett. And you got all that money from poor people. I hope there's AC in that indoor volleyball thing you're building for your daughter, because with a temper like yours, I'd imagine you got to keep it pretty cool in the building. Some people, man, guy doesn't even have to drive to work. He just rides his own ego. So the other story is job. I think it's CNBC. Again, I put all the links in the description down below if you want to follow along. I highly suggest you read this one, because if you're going on a job interview or applying for a job, number one, never give them any sensitive information. But number two, if a job interview ever asks you to like pay up front for a computer or work stuff, don't do it. Do not do it. There are a ton of job scams out there. I mean, I look for jobs every single day. I've been doing it for 7 years. And I've noticed like more and more job scams. I even, looking at rentals, there are even rental scams because they want you to send them a rental application with all your info, and then they do that. And the FTC said that on average, consumers lose about $2,000 to these job scans. Each person that falls for it lose about $2,000. Gen F, what's up? Sorry, I got cut off before. As soon as I seen your thing, my face froze and I couldn't tell if I was back, so I just restarted the live stream. And they're talking about AI is helping these scam artists. Maybe that's what Brett Favre used. AI. Brett Favre probably uses AI for his speeches. Prove me wrong, Brett. I bet you do. I bet you're AI, Brett. How do we know you're not AI, Brett? Huh? Because no human could act like that. Get your head out your butt. Get your head out your butt. So these scam artists are using AI to finely tune the job posting. And again, this article doesn't mention rentals, but I'm saying that it does. I think it scans the area. It does all that to make it sound very believable, very realistic, make you think that it exists. And I'm telling you this because I've seen them. But we got to be wary is if you go on an interview, even if it's another human on the other line, if they start asking you for personal information or to start, you need this, and this before you start work, we'll buy it for you. Just give us your information or anything. Any kind of asking for money or personal information, never, ever give it. Number one, because your bosses, the people hiring you, will not do that. That's like HR that you can deal with or paperwork that you're, submitting electronically now. So just be extremely careful if you're out there job hunting and rental hunting. You have to be vigilant with these scam artists, especially now with AI being utilized because it is dangerous out there. So read that article because it's fascinating to learn that people are losing money because they're thinking they got a new job, they're buying a new computer, and then they don't have a job and they're out the money, that's the worst part about this. This is why it kind of reminds me of Brett Favre, because it's like the people who are looking for a job can't afford to lose money. People who are looking for a house to rent can't afford to around, so when people prey on the most vulnerable, that is the lowest of the low. I have, I have ill intent for them. I hate to say that, but like the lowest of the low. When you're preying on the people who are in the most vulnerable situations, you are absolutely the worst person. Jen, it's crazy because now they have that voice replication stuff too. My bank asked if I wanted voice recognition to make it easier when I call. I said, hell no. Yeah, do not do that. You should really read this article, Jen, because that's the other thing that they mentioned. And I didn't fall down the rabbit hole and start Googling stuff, but they talked about now with that voice AI recognition and voice replication, that scam artists will use phone calls or interviews to get you to say something. And then they'll have that recorded. They'll duplicate your voice and they'll use it to, like you said, to unlock things if you have voice recognition set on. I don't use facial recognition. I don't use I don't use none of that shit. Because listen, with AI and deep fakes, who's to say they can't just deep fake my face and show it to the kid? You know what I mean? I'm old school. I write my passwords down. So smart on you, Jen. You got to stay vigilant in these weird times. I know people like it because of the convenience factor, but if you're not highly aware of like the nefarious things that are going on with this, you got to be careful. You have to be careful. So just be on the lookout. Job scams are up 117%, I think, which is a crazy number. Job scams up 117%. So when you're looking for a job, if it just seems a touch too good to be true, because I've seen these jobs where they're like, we pay $35 an hour, work at home whenever you want, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, really? Okay, call me. So just be very, very careful and never give personal information or money on an interview process, okay? Never, ever do that. Can't believe I got to say it, but sometimes these scam artists are so believable, and when people are really vulnerable, again, this is the worst kind of human, the people that prey on the most vulnerable. When you're really needing a job, your vision becomes clouded and you just are like, oh my God, I think I got it. And you maybe drop your guard a little bit. So just be careful. Don't forget, Brett Favre is walking human cow poo. That's what he is. Just, man, abusing his position. I hate that. And it wasn't only abusing his position as Brett Favre, but where the money he was getting paid, $1.1 million in speaking fees. What the fuck is that guy saying? I'm sorry, but I gotta hear Brett. I'm gonna have to go in a second because I gotta look up on YouTube Brett Favre speaking engagement. Who's paying Brett Favre $1 million to speak? I'm sorry, if that dude's from Mississippi, you'd have to pay me $1 million to listen to him for 5 minutes. No offense to all the people from Mississippi, but Jesus Christ, Brett Favre. What wisdom is that guy? What gems is that? That's how you know it's suspect, because nobody's paying Brett Favre $1 million to speak somewhere. He's not Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins makes that kind of money, and I know that because Tony Robbins tells you all the time how much he makes for speaking engagements, and he ain't Tony Robbins. So what kind of speech is Brett Favre given to receive $1.1 million in speaking fees? That's how the whole thing got probably. Oh, it didn't freeze. Well, it froze for a minute. Whew. Yeah. That's where they went wrong. As soon as Brett Favre said, I'm getting $1 million to speak, everybody went, you? There's nothing suspicious about that. I have to find, if anybody knows or has been to a Brett Favre speaking engagement, and it doesn't involve just saying, like, try not to get hit in the head a lot, please leave it in the comments. I have to figure out what the Brett Favre is talking about at his speaking engagements. What kind of life wisdom is that guy given? What is it all about? Does he just show up and he goes, listen, if you could get paid $1 million out of welfare money to speak, do it. That's my time. Thank you very much. That's my TED Talk. What a dink. He's such a loser. I hate him. Ugh. Now I might have to do a Rob reacts to Brett Favre speaking engagement if there's even one on YouTube, because that's hilarious. All right, I got to go find Brett Favre speaking engagements on YouTube. I'm going to be lost all day. Thank you guys so much. Please hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I go live every weekday. I will see you tomorrow, and hit that little thumbs up button. And we're almost at 1,340 subscribers. I'm one person away. I need you. So please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. And all the links to the stuff we talked about today are in the description. Peace.